All right, cyber traders, welcome on back here this Tuesday, post Traders Talk edition, as it typically is every Tuesday. Here for our afternoon meeting, of course, this Tuesday, March 15th, at least the Ides of March. Great to see John, Michael, Norman, Chuck, Yehuda, all of us live inside the trading room. And if you're rejoining us, as always, on social media, Facebook Live or YouTube, welcome on back as well. So, folks, we have a lot to talk about, as always, but this time here to begin the hour stock to begin HOUR making a really strong push across this afternoon, at least to begin. So for right now, how can we not just at least put this on the watch list? Now, in this case, for as much as the stock ran up and up and up and up, hey, we've seen these like crazy movers recently, right? But they're not always these crazy movers to where they just keep going, right? You got to expect false breakouts for at least resistance to hold the first attempt, just like we talk about, each and every week inside the Traders Talk workshop. For all of our students like Ron or Will or Alex, Patrick, Chuck, all of us otherwise, if you missed part of Traders Talk, missed it entirely, had other obligations, no sweat. That's recorded and will be put on the student dashboard, student portal by the end of the afternoon. But for right now, hey, look, for as much as it went up and up and up just now, it held underneath critical resistance off of 5 and making a bit of a drop here. So we'll put this on our watch list for right now. I would also say, as I'm kind of just skimming the daily chart, I don't know about you folks if you could see that, but that is a slick looking support that got broken through. That was back from the end of January. Support turns into resistance. And we talked about that briefly in Traders Talk as well. So, it just ended up topping off right there. Is that the end of the run? Hope not. But for right now, we'll at least, put this on our watch list, keep it on our list. I'm in one trade right now. I was hoping that it would fill me. I got filled and I set my stop right away. So actually, let me jump to that next. And for that, maybe I'll ask our students that were a part of Traders Talk earlier this morning, if you were to take a stab in the dark really quick. What stock am I in right now? And I don't know if it's going to keep pushing up. I don't know if it's going to keep going here. I might have some egg on my face here if it stops me out. But what stock am I in? We talked about it during Traders Talk earlier today. That's my hint. AMC, Johannes, and Mark commenting after. That's right. So, market right now has been expectedly flat. It's been slow in a tight range. But I noticed just a moment ago, prior to us beginning this meeting here, SPY pulled back a bit, but it started to sling back up a tiny amount, and perhaps that's where that's to where we could begin to see a potential slingshot up higher into the close. So that's just a very shoot from the hip thought. And with that, I love my AMC, and I saw it kind of teeter tottering around the VWAP line. And with that, I jumped in long right from the VWAP, roughly off of 1377.78. Got my stop set right underneath me at least. So, I don't know. I just wanted to comment on that for all of us live inside Cyber Group. We'll come back to this at the end. Maybe I have some egg in my face and it stops me out with a loss. Maybe if the markets keep pushing up, probably with the markets, should they keep pushing up, AMC will get the rub and perhaps head up towards 14. So for right now, folks, what we'll do otherwise is just go right through our list, percent gainers and losers lists. We'll see what we have to work with here heading into the close. IXHL. Jeez. Oh my goodness. I mean, I didn't even see this stock. I know Fausto was calling it out earlier today. I was in a couple of trades myself, calling out other stocks. I knew this was out of my price range. I didn't even care to look for the stock. I didn't even look at the chart until, honest to God, right now. Hand up. This is just disgusting. So I can't even count how many times this stock got halted. Probably about 20 times here. Looking at all the gaps on the 1 minute chart, that's ugly. What I also didn't realize, and not that it really matters here, we're not really going to trade it, but the HYMC has warrants. I didn't realize that. I thought this was the equity. I was going to jump to it here pretty quickly. HYMC, I think, is on the percent gainers list. I guess now at this point, not as up as much. But yeah, the warrants were up big here today. We'll check in on HYMC in a bit. SPY starting to eke back up, folks. My AMC trades grinding back up a bit, up to 84, 83 there. SONM, SunM, normally a cheapie below $1, we wouldn't look to follow as much, but not only did this make a strong move this morning, but just making a strong move this afternoon, breaking above $1. And with that, perhaps a lot more to come after this, hopefully. That's all we could do, hope. But that's not all we could do. Allow me to say that. We do have some support we could locate roughly off of 99 cents, about a 318,000 share order on the bid. you'd hope to see a dollar hold in particular as well. But right where it's at right now needs to hold, and over time, perhaps into the next 30 minutes as we turn into 3 o'clock, perhaps at that point it'll begin to make a stronger bounce or push back up. But yeah, SONM, I don't mind putting on our list here for right now. Put it on the afternoon list. REVB, I don't know. Nice move from earlier today. Would have been nice to see if it was still kind of holding strong to its highs, but clearly did not. And with that, we move on. RLX, this is looking pretty good. Wow, nice squeeze up here for this cheapie. I know it was breaking all-time lows heading into the end of last week. We were following it more as a short. For right now, perhaps as a short squeeze, a potential squeeze back up from support. So yeah, RLX we'll put back on our list here. Hour we talked about already. The AMC trade at 80 now, still in the trade. We'll see where it ends up here by the end. KVL flat. We're gonna pass on this. Was this the one from earlier? No, it's the HYMC that from earlier that was trading like a zillion shares pre-market. It was like 60 million shares traded pre-market, and for a stock like that, I knew it was going to be more exhausted. On a stock like this, though, the KVL, we've done really well on the stock back from February, the beginning to middle of February. Ended up pulling back in its own right, but here today, a little pop. Hopeful to see it move up higher, but ended up falling off right around that famed 10:30 reversal time. A little bit before that, perhaps you could say there. Ended up topping off even before 10, but the lower high after, and then from there the lower low. All right. Let's see as we skim through this list now. Otherwise, market's still kind of like chopping up and down in this range. Uh, KC kind of flat here as well in the meantime. I guess you could say kind of close to its highs. If it ends up making a pop by the end of the meeting, I would definitely be more keen to put it on our list. Right now, it's not really proving itself out to be a great move just yet. EDU, slowpoke. It's like watching the grass grow, watching the paint dry there. So you want to follow something that at least has some direction to it. The MMAT, a little slow, but at least it has some direction to it. So, this one's breaking a little bit higher here, kind of like the RLX. Both of the, I think MMAT, we have a history with here in Cyber Group. We've done really well in this stock back over last year, but it was under a different name for a large portion of that time, and I forgot that name top of my head. They changed their ticker to Meta Materials MMAT, and I think that was after the big run up and lower high here. But for right now in the intraday chart, just getting back to this move, making a pretty strong run for right now. It's pretty filled in liquid order book, so I'll honestly have to check out level 4 at the end of this meeting, just as I turn back over to the trading room and see what's out there heading into the afternoon there for that trade. All right, so MMAT we'll put on our list. The AMC trade dipping a little bit. Let's see where it ends up, though. My stop set, I think, at 71, 72. Holy trade, not much happening there. And the CLSD trade, it looked like something was happening just earlier, but then it kind of pulled back down a bit. So not really too high on that. So let's see what else we got though in the meantime. Data, I've seen this pop up on the gainers list kind of recently. Nice move up from earlier today, but flat for right now. Robbie Cano on the gainers list again. TME trade. I know Fausto was talking about this one earlier today. Nice move from 3 up towards just about 380, 375. You can say there, but again flat for the afternoon. That's to be expected though, folks. We got the Fed meeting concluding tomorrow afternoon. Probably have Powell on with a little press conference, little competition during this afternoon meeting time. Probably be on right at 2:30 talking. So we'll see how the markets kind of cooperate at that time. But yeah, it should be kind of slow heading into this close, folks. I already like the list that we have between the hour trade, MMAT, RLX. The latter two are really more level 1 stocks. All right, let's hop on over to the losers list for right now. We'll see what else is on this side of the list, at least the Coop trade. I know Fausto was calling out. It was a dead cat bounce at first. Nice squeeze up. As soon as the market opened up, the stock lifted off, from 64, 65 up towards just about 75. Pulling back, though, for right now, just too expensive and all of that stuff. Order book more so just pretty thin. That's more of the talking point. If AMD was coming off hot news or whatever it was, And honestly, AMD ain't looking too bad. But nonetheless, AMD has a pretty liquid order book for $108. That's where I focus more on the order book, if anything, right? That coup trade, that order book is paper thin. So that's more the reason why I'm not too interested in following this trade. DTIL dropping off. This one is shortable. It's only trading about 3,700 shares a minute right now, so that's pretty light, although it has a pretty liquid book or filled or tight spread at a minimum. All right, there's not much else I see on the loser side. I mean, hey, market ended up making a nice little squeeze from earlier this morning, and I'll tell you, for right now, it kind of seems as if I am beginning to get that eke back up on the SPY, the push back up I was hoping for. AMC back up to 82 for right now, so didn't get stopped out. We're hanging in there. We're up a little bit right now, up a few pennies. All right, for anyone on YouTube or Facebook Live, if there's any other stocks up, down, left, right, more than 5% that you would want me to check out or call out here pretty quickly, just let me know here in the chat board. And of course, for all of us live inside Cyber Group, same to be said. Will says the hour trades reopen. It was commented on earlier. It got halted on the way down, was it? Let's see. Yeah, it did get halted, and it was like shortly after we started the meeting. So maybe like right after I turned away from it, it ended up getting halted, dropped off just pretty quickly to the point where it's called a circuit breaker. And again, that's not good. That's not good. So it's pretty rare to see a stock that gets halted down after a run up make another run up. So I'll keep this on our list in hopes. I'm hopeful, but not looking as likely now. I'd anticipate at least a lower low here from this point, and then we'll kind of see how it reacts. But John's calling out the CLSD trade. It's slow. Ain't worth the time right now. If it didn't dump off so quickly after it made that new high, I'd be more interested. That would mean it would be showing more strength to its direction, but this ain't looking too good. Oh, Chuck, there we go. Some brownie points to Chuck there in the chat board. So MMAT, formerly TRCH. That is right. The second I saw that from your post, that clicked in my head. Torch became MMAT. I think it was Torchlight, and then ended up turning to metamaterials. All right. Nonetheless, we are good to go, though, folks. I think that just about wraps it up. I got nothing else here across all chats here heading into the afternoon. And that's all right. I mean, hey, market's slow. Market hopefully will make a nice bounce up a little bit higher, but that doesn't mean it's going to be like a really volatile afternoon. So, hey, if you've realized, that's why I've been more keen to follow like an AMC. That's why I've been more keen to follow a NEO. NEO for now, like a $13, $14, $15 stock or so, has a pretty damn high ATR in the daily chart. So, compare that to other trades. That's where you can get more bang for your buck. All right. So otherwise, I like the list. It's pretty short, pretty simple to work with. I'll post and tweet the picks coming up in just a moment for all of us across all streams, across the trading room right now. And I'll be back on the mic heading into the afternoon, heading into 3:30 Eastern time, folks. I'll talk to you all soon.
Become a Cyber Group member today. Just click the link below and receive all these amazing products and a world of knowledge for just $9.